Greetings and salutations, my young artists. Today we're going to do a fun project. We're going to make a color wheel lion. To get started, here are the supplies you're going to need for this project. So we're obviously going to need our pencil, and we're going to need some paper, clear or blank paper if you have it. Line paper is okay. You're going to need your markers, and actually you can see what 3 colors I have. I have my red, yellow, and blue, which are my primary colors. We're going to need those today. We're going to need a black. And then what might seem a little weird is you're going to need a bowl and a cup. And we're going to use those to make circles. Optional is a Q-tip, which we can use to blend our markers when we get ready to do our color wheel portion of our lion. So here's the stuff we're going to need for today. Let's get right into it. No time like the present. I move all my products over here. I have them close. And let me get my piece of paper. All right, so step 1 is to take my piece of paper and I want to turn it portrait. So right now it's going side to side. This is called landscaping. I want to turn it this way, which is called portrait. So we're going to be working this way with our paper, which is up and down. All right. Next, I want to make sure that my pencil is nice and sharp and ready to go. Get a sharp pencil. And I'm actually going to start with my bowl. Bring my camera up a little bit so we can see a little bit better. There we go. So I'm actually going to start with my bowl. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my bowl upside down. Now, if you're using one of mom's or grandma's bowls that's glass, please be very, very careful. I'm going to turn my bowl upside down and I want to put it up near the top of my paper. Okay. And when I hold it, I don't want to put my hand like this where I can't get around it. This is hard to get around. So what I want to do is actually, and I'm sorry, I have drawing on my hand there. I want to kind of just pretend like there's a little man standing on top of it. So if you were to look at it this way, it would look like there's a little man standing on top of the bowl. Okay, so I'm going to put my little man on top of the bowl, and he's going to hold it down for me. But I want him standing up. That way I can take my pencil and I can trace around my bowl without having to move my little man. So if I have my hand like this, I'm going to have a really hard time getting around the bowl all the way. And if it doesn't come out perfect, hey, that's okay. So now I lift it up, I made a circle. So this is one way if you're doing art at home and you want to have a nice circle, you can use a bowl or a cup, Tupperware, a lid, something like that. So this is going to be my lion's mane, my nice big circle there. Next, I'm going to use my cup and I'm going to put that down just about the middle of my big circle. And same thing, have my little man, okay? He's going to stand on top of the bowl to hold it down, or the cup to hold it down. Not my hand like this. Use my little man. That way I can get around. So put my fingers here. He's going to push down and hold it for me. Let me get a little bit more centered. And I'm just going to draw right around my cup. Ta-da! Now I've got a circle inside of a circle. So we don't need our bowl and cup anymore. So you can go ahead and put those aside. Make sure they're someplace where they're not going to fall and get broken. So there, I've made my lion's mane, which is a circle. And then I made a circle inside of the circle, which is going to be his face. So let's go ahead and draw his face now. In the center of my circle, I want to put an upside down triangle. Well, I guess it's not really upside down. It's still just a triangle, right? Most people think triangles point up. So I'm going to make a triangle just like that. Just like that. What part did I just make of his face, you think? Yeah, I made his nose. Now, lions don't just have a triangle nose. Their nose has another triangle that we can draw going upwards like this. My lines aren't very straight, and that's okay. What it is that Miss Gravett needs her glasses because she can't see what she's doing. There we go. All right, so I made a triangle here, and I'm making mine darker. You can make yours light. Okay, I'm just making mine darker so you can see it at home. So there's our triangle on top and our triangle on bottom. Next to either side of the triangle, I want you to make a nice wide U shape like this. Nice wide U shape on both sides. These are going to be his eyes. Okay, those are his eyes. And then coming out of the bottom of our triangle, right about here, make another 2 bigger U shapes to make his mouth. And he's smiling. He's going to be happy because you're going to see he's going to have a beautiful colored mane. Let's give him some ears right up here. And we're going to make some kind of big triangles. So I'm a little bit rounded on the top, I guess. But you can make them like this. Just make some big triangles for his ears. Make the inside smaller triangle for the inside of his ears. And the last thing I like to give my cats, I always love to give my cats whiskers. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There's our happy lion with his big round mane. Now to finish putting the lines in his mane, again, we're going to make this into a color wheel. So we need to divide this section up into 6 parts. And let me show you how we're going to do that. A nice, easy way to do that. From the top of his head, from this inner circle to the upper circle, I'm going to make a line. Just like that. And then I'm going to do the same thing from his chin down to the bottom. So from the inner circle just by his chin, down there like that. Now I have 1, 2 sections, but I need 6. So let's make another line from just below his ear right here. From in there, just below his ear, from the inner circle, all the way to the outer circle. And then just below his whiskers here, from the inner circle to the outer circle like that. Let's see, now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 sections. That's still not 6. So let's do another one from his chin here, or his cheeky chin right there, over to the side. And do the same thing right by his ear. From his ear, just like that. Cool, now let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yay, I got 6. So now his face and his mane, the drawing part of that is complete. I think we need to draw his body. Now, this part is not his head, that's his mane. So his neck is actually way up here. So I'm going to draw, thinking about from right here, I'm not going to draw a line though, just imaginary, make an imaginary line there. That's his neck. So his body's going to start right about here, in between these 2 lines, right about here. And I'm just going to come down towards the bottom of my paper. Look, needs to be a little bit more round than that, Miss G. Let's make it a little bit more round. I like to turn my paper so I can actually make that line. I drew a little too hard, so it's going to be hard to erase. Okay, so I went from here, and I just went around. So then I'm going to kind of come down. I'm going to go straight across. This is going to be his back foot. And you can give him a little bump there like this for his foot. And it kind of comes over like this, right? And then this is going to be his hip. A nice big, almost half circle like that. Now, if you want to have some fun, you can make little rounded paws right here. All right. Then the same thing. I know his neck is right about here. I'm going to make it the front of his body. It's going to come down like this. And I'm going to give him 1 paw right here. And then round like this and come back down again. Make his other foot. and then go back up. Now don't go all the way. I'm going to stop right about there because I can make a line on my lion that goes from here to here, and there's his tummy. Look at how happy he is. But he's missing something really important. His tail. Lions have cool tails. So on the tip of their tail, there's usually this poof of fur. So the way we're going to draw that is we're going to make an oval over here. Just make it oval. Like that. And then draw 2 lines so it comes down and connects behind him. There's his tail. And if you want to, like I did over here, if you want to make him little feet, his little paws, you can do that. My favorite part of my kitty cats is their little paw pads underneath. I call them jelly bean toes. Okay, there we go. When I come back, I'll give him some claws. So there's our happy lion. Nice. All right. I'm going to be done with my pencil now for a little while, so I'm going to go ahead and put that aside. What I want to do next is I want to start coloring in our color wheel. But before I can do that, I'm going to come in and use my black crayon because this is made out of wax. So when I use my markers, it's going to act like a barrier between my marker colors. So what I want you to do right now with your black crayon is I want you to trace over your lines that you made all around your lion's face. And this is going to take a little bit of time, and that's okay. Go around my circle as best I can. I'm going to just keep turning my paper because go this way, then all the way around. There we go. There's my circle there. And we got the line here. Got another line over here. Line over here. And then a line here. There we go. And then don't forget to go around his ears here. The top of his head. And if I start to get ahead of you, you can just go ahead and hit pause. Pause. That's funny. And catch up to me, okay? But I just really want to make sure that I get all this outlined because where I'm going to color in here next, I want that to stay separate from my lion so it doesn't, so the colors don't bleed into each other. Okay? And we're going to come back to our black crayon once we're done with this coloring part. So there, I've made my outside circle, I made those lines and the inside circle of his head. I'm going to put my black marker aside, or my black crayon aside for a second. We'll come back to that in a minute. Let's go ahead and color in our color wheel. If you need to, you can pause the video to get caught up to me. And then when you're ready, come on back. So the first color I'm going to use is I'm going to use the primary color red. I'm going to use red. And I'm going to start right up here. And I like to turn my paper because it makes it easier for me to color. And I'm just going to color in this part red. This is the first part of my color wheel. Now, if you don't have markers, you can use crayon or you can use colored pencil. Make sure it's red, R-E-D, because you don't want to accidentally use the red violet or red orange. If you have markers, please use the red from your marker and color that in really nice. There's my red. Miss Gravett's got to get some new markers. These ones are starting to dry out. Okay, so I've used my red. Next, I'm going to use yellow. But wait, we're going to skip a spot. So we have red, skip a spot, yellow. Okay, so we have red, skip a spot, yellow. So right down here under his chin, we're going to color that in yellow. There we go. Yellow. And the last color I'm going to use is blue. And again, red, skip a spot, yellow, skip a spot, blue. Okay, so let's go ahead and put in our blue. Don't be afraid to pause and get caught up and then come back, okay? That's why it's there. Let's go ahead and put in our blue. Oh, I really need to get new markers. There we go. So I just put in my primary colors. I put in my red, yellow, and blue. And again, I left a spot open in between each one because now we're going to do some color mix magic. So this is where you can use the Q-tip if you need to. Okay, have that ready. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the lighter color, which is yellow. And I'm going to put yellow in between my red and this one, this yellow. But I'm going to do it real lightly. Don't press too hard. Just put a little bit in there. Just like that. Now, because this part's the yellow, now I'm going to put red on top of it. And watch what happens to my color. Ready? Oops. And it should mix up. It's not mixing that well. So I'm going to have to use my Q-tip, but you can kind of see it. What color is that turning into? Got to get it wet. Let's see. If I mix red and yellow together, I get orange. Orange. So if you don't have, if you didn't use your markers, you can get your orange crayon or your orange colored pencil now. And this is orange. When I mix red and yellow together, I get orange. All right, let's mix another two colors. I'm going to mix yellow and I'm going to mix my blue. And this does work better when your markers are not so dried out as mine. So I'm going to put in a little bit of yellow. And while it's still wet, let's go over it with a little bit of blue and let's see what color it turns into. What color do you see? Do you see green? Yeah, I see green too. So if I mix my blue and my yellow together, I get green. If you don't have the markers to mix, you can go ahead and grab your green colored pencil or your green crayon and color that in green. There's my green. All right, I got one spot left to do some color magic. Let's see. I'm going to start with my red. I'll bring my red over this way. Put in some red. And then I'm going to cover it in the blue. Let's see what color we get. What color do you see? Did you see the start of violet? I do. I get it wet and I mix the two together. I get this nice dark violet. Now, a lot of kids will also say purple. Okay, if you look at your two, it'll say violet and it says purple. So yeah, if you mix red and blue together, you get violet or purple. So you can find that colored in. Ta-da! Congratulations, you just made a color wheel. And you want to see something really cool about our color wheel? If we start right here and go around clockwise, we have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and violet or purple. These colors actually make something really cool. Let me show you. Keep my lion right here. So let's use those same colors. I'm going to go red. And then I go orange. And then I go yellow. What do you start to see? Then go green. Got it yet? Blue. And last but not least, that's right. If you go around the color wheel starting with red, if you go this way, it makes a rainbow. Yay! All right, let's go ahead and finish our lions. Got our color wheel done. Let's go back and grab that black crayon again. And now you can go in and you can add in his whiskers. And finish drawing over his face. Any place that you drew with pencil, we're going to go over it with our black crayon because it'll really make it stand out. There's his face. Let's go ahead and do the body. I gave mine little paws. Now someone asked me, well, Miss Grave, I don't have a black crayon. I only have a Sharpie marker. If you have a black Sharpie marker, you can do this, but make sure there's another piece of paper underneath because Sharpie marker will go through paper and get on the table. We don't want that to happen. Okay. Then we'll go around his body just like that. So I gave mine paws. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. You notice how I'm turning my paper to make it easier to draw over this. There we go. Don't forget his tail. Now, if you want to, on his tail, he has hair that sticks up like this on his tail. If you want to make it poofy hair like that, you can. And then actually, if you want to, you can actually put hair on his body. Bring him down this way. You can make these short little lines like this and make it look like he's got fur. And you can put it on his legs, down like this. You can even put some on his face. Right? Because he's not smooth, he's covered in fur. And you can put as many of those as you want. Once you finish that part, again, you can pause it. You can go back and color him. Does anybody know what color his body should be? Yeah, it's kind of a mix of, you can use brown to make his body. Or if you want, you could even mix brown and yellow to make light brown. Because they're usually lions are kind of a golden color, which is a light brown. But it's not quite like real yellow like that. So I usually mix a little bit of brown. And don't forget to color his face. Okay? And his ears. I'm just going to color a little bit of mine in. And then I'm going to turn you guys loose. Okay? So there we go. I'll just stop right there. You can finish coloring all of yours in. You just made a color wheel lion. Nice job. When you're finished, if you want, write your name on it and then take a picture with your iPad and send it to me in chat. That way I can see it. Okay? Awesome job, you guys. I'm excited to see what you send me with your color wheel lions. So thank you so much for tuning in with this lesson. I want you to have a great day. And you know what? Have an even better tomorrow. I'll see you again soon. Bye.